So yeah, machinist job, right? Okay. I don't remember. Oh, foundation, right? We need to get this done. As I fall asleep slowly. Sky Steel Manufacturing. Hold on. For future reference. Hi! This real quick. A joyless celebration. With our tourney victory, we have indubitably etched the machinist presence in the minds of the Holy See. And now that my father has relinquished the running of the manufactory to me, it seems our fortunes have at last taken a turn for the better. Father has also formally responded to Lord Telegrinci, promising our support in House Desmel's next sortie. I am not yet privy to the details of the operation, but I imagine the role Telegrinci will choose for us shall be both demanding and dangerous. In his attempt to humiliate the machinist, however, he will only provide us with another stage on which to prove our worth. A victory in the field will garner us greater support from the Holy See and allow me to approach the operating funds towards the development of ever more potent weapons. Thus, it's vitally important that we see this operation succeed, but an equally important matter must be addressed ere we delve too deeply into such concerns. The celebration of the Tory Triumph. We must have joy and must still join us for the festivities. But I believe joy services are yet required at the manor. Pray seek out our master of marksmanship first, if you would. A party, is it? I ain't going. All I did during the tournament was watch. How could you say that, Master Rosero? Without your instruction, we'd never have stood a chance. And look at us, upstart commoners, beating the likes of Season Knight. I taught you how to shoot, eh? That tourney victory was something you managed all on your own. You can see arguing with you ain't gonna get nowhere. I'll just drag you back to the workshop instead. But still, we can't begin the festivities without joy. This time of day, she'll be at her chores in the manor's house. Maybe if you talk to the cow, he'll let her leave early to attend the celebration. She ain't one to abandon her duties half done now. It's best to approach the count directly and not give her a chance to object. Aye, the lass is awful serious about her work. Wouldn't want her killing over for guilt now, would we? The count should be home if you don't mind talking to him. I'll be sure the instructor here makes it to the celebration. Celebration! For what? I don't remember! We won a tournament or something? Can't remember. But... There is to be a celebration, is there? And naturally you've come to fetch joy. Pray return to the manufactory. I shall be along forthwith Meanwhile, she shouldn't be attending. You fired her, didn't you? Everyone is present. Yes, once again, pray allow me to congratulate you all on your performance. As we celebrate your victory, I have news. What is it, Father? It's quite a sudden development, but Joy has wed. What hells? Well, there's another good reason to bring out the grog. Dead? I had heard not of any engagement. She is gone then? Joy's chambers at the manor have already been empty. And now that she is married, I do not foresee her returning to the manufactory. She left behind her firearm. Wait, what's Joy's getting married got to do with her leaving the workshop? Within the walls of Ishgard, 'tis usually the unwed what serve the manor houses. Many retire from such work upon the day of their marriage, as young Joy has done. 'Tis all too much. Now that we have at last earned the monochrome of recognition, 'tis ill time indeed to lose so talented a It seemed that formal circumstances demanded a swift union be made, but let us not bemourn what is lost. Let us instead rise a toast to the happiness Joy has found. You must need accept that your colleague has moved on and adapt your strategies accordingly. House Desmail will call upon you soon, and I expect to hear great things from this allied operation. I have doubts about this. A yawning abyss has opened in our ranks. How could she leave us without so much as a final farewell? Familiar circumstances. Has something ill befallen her dad? I wonder. Celestia? You're acquainted with Joy's father? We all hunted together. He was the one who suggested I try my hand here at the workshop. He told me his daughter found herself a decent job with a fine employer. And mayhap he can also tell you whether his daughter has gone. I would fain convince both the wife and her new husband to accept positions at the manufactory. I'll speak with him, my lord. I don't much fancy taking to the field without Joy and her uncanny aim at my side. Even just Joy refused my overture. I simply abandoned our obligation to House Desmail. Also, you must drill your students without quarter. I'll push them as hard as you like, boss, as long as I am fairly compensated. The celebrations shall have to wait, Ronald. Unless we can persuade Joy to remain, the burdens of battle must be divided betwixt those of us who remain. But surely she will come back to us. Surely. Yeah. I mean, we could do it. We could do Oh, there it is. The auto crossbow. Okay. There you are, Ronald. To seem that it is not only Joy, but her father as well, who has vanished from the city. Everyone's gone. It is now asking questions, but there are few answers to be had. Rather than sit here on our hands while we wait for a revelation, however, prefer we begin our preparations for our engagement alongside House Desmond. The Desmonds have been struggling to restore the township of Falcon Nest, an enterprise that has been interrupted time and again by murdering Gravalians. The signs and a steady trickle of scouting reports suggest that the dragons are amassing for sufficient assault on the settlement. Its fortifications are not yet complete. So it would be the aim of the Allied operation to defend these half-finished structures from the ravages of the Horde. I expect House shall be positioned on the front lines of this conflict. Should we fight well, the dragons will be routed. Should we fight poorly, our reputation will suffer. The Lord's perspective, either result is a victory. For the future of machinery, however, we cannot afford to fail. Thus have I focused my energies towards designing an attachment that will improve our chances of success. Now the problem, which I was hoping you might solve, is the acquisition of suitable components. The swiftest way to create new technology is by repurposing the old. To that end, I would have you infiltrate Castrum Sentry and salvage a goodly number of war mechan parts. The Garleans there may take a dim view of your efforts to liberate these supplies. Well, yeah. Hey, oh. I'm sitting here wondering. Why am I on a bear? Oh. Wait. Why am I on a bear? I'm sorry. I'll just take these. With Joy gone from the workshop, I have no one else to whom I could entrust such duties. 'Tis no simple task, I know. But I must have those components. I mean, here you go. It wasn't that hard. Splendid. These parts will do much to speed the construction of my invention. Now, if only Joy were returned to us. Despite his most standard efforts, however, it has appeared that his contacts in the broom have elected to spurn his inquiries. I sense an unseen hand and a sizable purse behind the sudden rash of retickets. Mayhap if you were to ask after the old hunter's disappearance instead, then the broom's inhabitants may be more forthcoming. Yeah, I do have tides there. Dealings. Just friendship dealings. They give me free coffee and I don't lose my mind, essentially. That's all. Who? You mean the one whose daughter caught herself a husband in Falcon's Nest? He's probably there with her, ain't he? Really? That old hunter fella? I thought he'd left to start a new job someplace else. He was always cursing about. He's always cursing how his old wounds keep him from practicing his trade, but I suppose he found himself something new. Oh, the cranky old hunter? I hear he's gotten himself paying work and saw his little girl get married on the same day. The husband's said to be the brother of some famous carpenter and that he didn't even need a job to get by. I smell conspiracy. Try my best to, what is this? Our closure. There's a lot of 80s stuff going on here that should not. Wait, isn't our closure the, Dark Knight questline? I mean, I gotta get that. I gotta finish that. Were you able to wring any information from the broom? A new job for him and a new husband for his daughter in Falcon's Nest. There's been taken on a good number of laborers and such to help with the town's restoration. Even a half-crippled old hunter might find some kind of work for himself there. Yes, my prospect meter points already to the west. We shall head to Falcon's Nest to seek out Joy and her father. Any signing number? And then we just turn in. There she is. His lordship, what is he doing here? Joy, please. I only ask that you listen a moment. Will you and your husband not consider working for me in the manufactory? I can't do that, my lordship. I can't be a machinist no more. It's best for everyone if I leave that by... What do you mean, best for everyone? Is that what is best for you? All I want for me is a simple life. One what doesn't cause problems for those who show me such kindness. I'm glad we could talk this one last time, my lordship. Praying that you and your mechanist get the recognition you deserve. There is something going on here. It's time we start pointing guns at people's heads and start asking questions. Make them talk. I always thought Joy was happiest when she had the stock of her flintlock in hand. Will she now sacrifice that happiness for the satisfaction of others? Or is it that she never truly wished to be a machinist and merely suffered the training? My instinct... No. Hey, arming the commoners. It is my intention to place them on equal footing with the nobles who seek to rule them. But cut in the thorns of self-righteous ambition, have I treated them no better? The lordship having himself a crisis of fate. Might be you could have a sympathetic ear, eh? I'll join you back at the workshop in a bit. There's something I want to look into first. I will do it. By the way, I need to change. Do I have a Fantasia anywhere? I mean, I'll mostly get. That is a pretty color. Sorry. Focus. Focus, game. Focus me. Focus. I run my prospector meters through all possible permutations, but the result is always the same. We focus on preparations for the Allied operations. So we just give up on bringing Joy back? Should we fail House Dismail? Then the reputation we built at the tournament will crumble into dust. We would have to begin again, brick by painful brick. A moment, my lord. I lingered behind in Falcon's Nest to see if I could find Joy's father, but he was nowhere to be found. I got a feeling something ain't right here. If Joy herself has no wish to be a machinist, then what more can I do? It's not my place to meddle in her affairs. I see how it is. I thought you different from them other nobles, but you're all the same. Only interested in helping commoners as long as they're doing your bidding. Well, I've had enough of taking orders. It's time I went my own way. My grand plans for a future of Michigan, have they all been in vain? We have come so far. What? We have, you and I. Speaking of which, I have promised to use those components you bought me to build a new weapon. if not else. We have certainly made advances in the field of machinery. I've got to call it machinery. I don't know how to say, but machinistry. It's chemistry. Stree at the end. Machinistry. Such a tangible measure of progress cannot be ignored. Yes, my prostometer was so overloaded with perpetual problems, I failed to see the practical evidence of our success. The path is steep and our steps are small, but that does not mean the destination is beyond us. I will ask much of you in the coming days, Ron, and I shall see that you are the most well-equipped machinist in the short history of machinistry. Give me my auto crossbow, which delivers an attack to all enemies in a cone. When firearm is overheated. This weapon skill does not. Okay. Ha! I am so tempted to actually change the character's name to Veronica Stoppable. It's kind of the gender bent version of Ron Stoppable's name, which would be funny. Yeah. Hello. A joyful reunion. Ooh, that's the upgrade. Definitely need that. Let me tell you. I hope your firearm is loaded and ready, Ronald. We have received our deployment orders from House Desmail. Several groups of Dravanians are converging on Falcon's Nest, and we have been tasked with eliminating the fiends gathered upon the Black Iron Bridge. Knowing Telegrich, and I unfortunately do, I would not put it past him to lure more foes into the narrow structure simply attacks us. And we must need to overcome this assault without Joy's help, or Celadis, for that matter. He has yet to return since he stormed out the door. I will assemble our remaining machinists, and lead them to Falcon's Nest. Pray join us there as soon as you may. So, context for machinists. It's not a job about having a gun. It's about having an arsenal of machines to do your bidding. Essentially. Like, different weapons to do things. It's kind of like... It's like Edgar from FF6. So, if you ever pick up machinists and you're wondering, why do I have a drill and a crossbow and such, it's like, yeah, those are why. You're using different tools to do damage. Apparently, we're gonna get a chainsaw in whatchamacallit, in Dawn Trail, I think, or something. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I have to unlock all the. Where are we going? Falcon's Nest. Hello. Hello. Ronald, I fear Kennedy's departure has inspired his fellows to disregard my commands. You are the only machinist to answer my call to arms. And in response to this insubordination, I have been forced to deploy what few knights we could spare, myself included. They even begged me to come along. As I've said before, fighting bloody dragons ain't in my contract. So they'll be paying me handsomely for the trouble. How many? You seem to be shorter a number of... Yes. You are keeping our colleagues... We are keeping our colleagues in reserve. For an operation such as this, we need field Only Ronald, the finest in our ranks. Your confidence is truly inspiring. However, there are few enemies threatening the Black Iron Bridge. Even with your sparse numbers, you shouldn't be solely pressed. And why over here? Have you come to fight with us? That all depends on you, my lord. We found Joy's father. He's being held prisoner in the broom. Oh, prisoner? You expect this is some matter of coercion? Oh, we reckon they're trying to target Joy for a while. Her dad vanished right after he landed a job here in Falcon's Nest, and did Joy suddenly up and wed the brother of the carpenter working vacations? House Desmail is behind this, or I'm a Chocobo's third cousin. Yeah. You cad. It's not too late. If we break her dad out, then Joy can abandon her farce of a marriage and come back to the manufactory where she belongs. But the bridge! The Devorians! Go! Joy is a machinist. As manufactory chief, 'tis your duty to attend to your employees. My knights and I shall march for house... you needn't worry. They'll have yours truly fighting right beside them. Go and help the boss, Ronald. If Ronald goes, then I'll stay behind. We promised machinists to the Desmos, and we don't want to break our word, do we? Just one should be enough. We shall conclude this matter with the greatest of haste, and return as swiftly as we may. Let's go! You'll find one of our manufactory machinists in the broom. He'll show you where Droid's dad is being held. Where's Hilda at during all this? My Hildebrand, Hilda. She leads, she's pretty much kind of like the leader of the broom. So what in the world is happening down there? Oh, there. Said you'd come. The chief will draw too much attention, so we asked him to wait at the workshop until we're to act. Joy's dad is right behind that door over there. We just need to convince the bloke standing guard to open it. He doesn't exactly look the static type, though, so I guess it grasps having pissing in his trousers. You mean like this? Still don't know what this round does. What in the? You shot me! Almost. And I'll shoot you again! Please, I ain't done nothing wrong. See, fancy fop dropped the pouch in my lap. Me to guard the door, I swear, that's all I know. And how much did he pay you? Not enough to die over me, Lord. Please don't shoot me again. Not my intention to threaten you. We merely wish to release the man behind yonder door. And should you fear the vengeance of your employer, you are welcome to take shelter at the manufactory. In fact, become a machinist. Then you need to take another such savory job again. You're offering me work, my lord? I'll let the bloke out of that. Hells, I'll carry him across the city and back for a steady wage. Well, we don't have to do it. You've been locked away for quite some time, by poor man. Do you know who did this to you and why? I've not the faintest idea, my lord. I was hired by House Desmail to work on their walls, and when I went to join the crew heading out to Nest, some bastard, begging your pardon, slipped a sack over me head, carted me away. I'm just a broken old hunter. I ain't got money for ransom. Let's be family. Got to thinking that maybe they nabbed the wrong bloke. Then you weren't aware that Joy was red? Or that she resigned from her position at both the manor and the manufactory? She got married and quit? Why'd she do a 30 thing like that? I've never seen her happier than when she was slinging one of them flint rocks. Ah, so that's why they took me. They're blackmailing me. Oh, joy. Ain't no way she'd be up. She'd just up and marry some bloke. What wouldn't let her stay at the workshop? Then she was a machinist by her own choice, and I'm full glad to hear that. It's time we liberated your daughter from her false union. Once she sees you are safe, I do not envy the man who pretends that the role of her husband. I knew you'd set things right, my lord. You take care of Joy, and I'll tell the rest of the machinists that they can come back to work. Alright then, lad. You come with me. I will speak with Joy and unravel this nonsense. You however must make haste to the Black Iron Bridge and lend your barrel to the battle. Sure. Black Iron Bridge. About time you found Droid's dead then. Good, now it's up to the boss to bring her back. The fighting has been fierce, Master. Droid, when he gallantly intercepted a swipe meant to remove my head. Ah, that's a noble way of saying I tripped over its bloody tail and stumbled into the blow. Anyway, you'll have to take me place on the front lines and do it soon for these dainty knights get their asses handed to them. Oh, jeez. Alright, guess we're doing this. So yeah, one of the things that I did last night, thanks to a friend of mine, we cleaned my inventory and my armory inventory. And when I mean clean it, I mean we cleaned it. Like yeah, we managed to turn all the equipment that we had, unneeded equipment, into seals. I was able to put away a lot of the gear sets that I used to level, essentially, like this 50, 60, 70, 80 stuff. Yeah. We managed to do that. And, yeah. So, it was one of the things I was complaining a lot. Oh, wait, what's it do? Wow. You was missing a few mates, but you still took care of business. Not that I'd expect aught less from one of me's star students. A star indeed. Your arrival was a gift from the heavens. Yeah. Ah! Load aim and fuck. How do you like that? You great scaly bastard. I'm afraid I've caused a great deal of trouble for you all. Thank you for rescuing me, Dan. It's no trouble at all for such a fine employee. As you are now wed, I understand that you may not wish to resume your duties at the manor, but have you considered my son's offer that you and your husband come work at the manufactory? My husband and me have agreed to part ways. If it pleases me, Lord, I'd like to start working again at the workshop and the manor both. Joy, my dear, you are most welcome, of course. Neither the manor nor the manufactory have been the same without you. Lord, I don't know how to... that is to say... I'm glad to be back. I should put one between your eyes! Ah, I see that even the much diminished house hung on a handful of dragons pose no threat. I shall have to find more significant challenge for your next outing. The knight is the master of the battlefield. Because with far more than a handful of dragons, huh? Do you think us blind? We know who was working against the manufactory. Whose underhanded villainy forced Joy to wedlock. If you are implying, you speak if I recall the names of your low-born servants, or hold even a slightest interest in their common unions. Now, if you'll excuse me, my lords. You know, we could just light them up. Nobody would say anything. Bullets look like... Bullet wounds can look like dragon fangs piercing the skin. As if he got ripped apart. I'm just saying. Damn that man and his arrogance. My prostometer and I shall remain vigilant, that we may defeat this trickery at every turn. The accolades for this triumph, however, must go to you, Ronald. The bridge is clear, and joyous return to us. I was afraid I'd seen the last of the manufactory. Thank you again for the warm welcome home. Never felt as whole as I ever did after I joined the ranks of the mission. When I had to tell his lordship I was quitting it, it felt like I was leaving a part of my soul behind. That's when I realized to me being a machinist is more than just firing a weapon. It's a way of connection to another side of myself. And now that you're connected again, we can get back to working on your shooting and your swearing. And there is also the small matter of our delayed tournament celebration. If it pleases me, Lord, I'd like training instead. I feel the need to shoot off 10 score bullets or so. Of course. We all celebrate in our own way. Fire at will, me dear. I, for one, am eager for a stiff drink back at the manufactory. Bam, 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 bam. Wow. This is taking a little longer than I thought, but it's okay. We're gonna be playing Duel Masters. Okay? I think I'm gonna skip one more quest done. Yeah, I'm gonna get one more quest done, and then we're gonna switch over to Duel Masters, because, like I said, I gotta get that game done. I gotta get that nightmare done. So we'll be... And considering I gotta make start a new character story with that, like the next character, we have to start getting cards all over again. Once more, you're proving your worth to the machinist in the House Halloran. As for Lord I have my suspicions, but now it seems arbitrarily clear that he has been behind every mishap and misfortune to befall the manufacturer. Despite his naivety, however, our successes in the field will not have escaped the notice of the Holy See, and as our reputation grows, so too shall Talagurchi's ire. We had best be on our guard. Oh, did you hear? During his skirmish with the dragon, Hunter developed a new technique. He was adamant that I pass on the particulars to you. Yes. Give me the skills. The skills! Guys, the skills! The skills. By the way, tactician. Alright, this is gonna be the last one. Although, I should probably just get it all done. Because then tomorrow, I can do a couple of hours and then jump on 11. Of just getting to 80. Greetings, Ronald. Is this not a wonderful day to be a machinist? Lord, you and the Sky Show manufacturer employees, under your authority, are hereby charged with fomenting insurrection. My dear sir, I have fomented nothing of the sort. You stand accused of arming commoners with weapons of war and discharging said weapons within the locality of physicality of the brim. What a scene, then we liberated Joy's father. Henceforth, the manufactory shall remain under the Temple Knight's surveillance. Should you fail to refute the accusations against you within the allotted time, punishment may include seizure of your workshop of all those deemed accomplices to the crime. The Fury, take that smirking fox. I knew we would attempt the rescue. Once they set their sights on the summit, them Temple Knight's leg is like a bandersnatch with a bone. You best say farewell to your workshop. They'll not take my manufactory. I will think of something. He said we could have just lit that guy up and that would have been the end of the case and problems, but I'm just saying. It's difficult to prove the truth of something one has not done. Mayhap the wiser course would be to provide evidence of Tetragon's wrongdoing. There's a clever bastard though, that one. Try, but I'd best not overstep my bounds. The contract's almost done in any case. I'll be moving on no matter what happens to the workshop. My instructor, he sure doesn't like to get involved. As for me, I'll see if I can find any streets connecting House Deathwells to the crime. The Forgotten Knight should be a good place to start. I don't know what I'd do without the workshop. I'll see if I can get some folks talking. And that leaves you and me, Ronald. I believe I shall remain here in the manufactory, occupy the gaze of the Temple Knights, while you aid in his inquiries. Summoner. They do be spooky. And then leading down. I kind of forgot how to get into this place. No, that's not it either. Where is the entrance to the brim? Forgotten Knight. Here we are. I appreciate you coming out, Ronald. It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard planning out in the workshop. What with the Temple Knights eyeballing our every move. You should be able to talk freely in here, though. You recall that bloke as was standing guard over Joy's dad? Aye, Frederick is his name. He took to marksmanship with a passion and hadn't missed a single day of training, not until today. I got suspicious, of course, and decided to pay a visit to his home. Right away, you could see the door has been kicked in. So I went inside and had me a proper look. That's when I found a ragged feather just laying there on the floor amidst the bits of broken furniture. I wanted to keep my hands clean, then hired some thugs from out of town to do for poor Fredericks. Thugs would otherwise make a living poaching wild chocobos. I suggest you talk to Lord Seven and take a trip out to Tailfeather. I'll keep poking around here in the city and see what else crawls out of the stonework. Ooh. Yeah, it is the Dark Knight, bar closure. Yeah. I have it. Don't I have it at 80? No, it's 71! Ugh. I think what we're gonna do during the next expansion is get the rest of the, try and get the rest of the jobs unlocked and done. Start removing all this. Start cleaning. I mean, like, really. The next expansion, just start cleaning everything we can up. From, like, savages and ultimates to, like, well, from, like, side quests and job quests and stuff to, like, savages and ultimates. This may be our best lead. If we can track down the man who first employed Fireworks, then we shall have a silent link to hostility. Let us waste no time. Onward to the Devoured Borderlands. And to Tailfeather. Yeah, let's go. Like I said, I could sit and do it all, but I have an I could sit and complete the entirety of this, I forget what it's called, the Machinist quest line. I could. I should, but I have an obligation to card games today. I've been wanting to play more card games. Good news, Ronald. I've spoken with few of these hunter fellows, and they told me of a trio of ruffians that passed through here, dragging a man matching Fodor's description. We shall scour the forest to the south. If you will look to the north, do not wait for us. Should you find these ruffians, then pray confront them ere Pernix comes to further harm. No witnesses. Cut this one's throat as well. What the? Excuse me? How dare. Hello. My thanks. I did not expect to see another dawn. Not leaking blood, are you? Splendid. You gave us quite a scare. You mean, my lord? Those men, they dragged me from me house, said they'd hurt me if I didn't swear false witness to the temple knights. You were forced to substantiate their accusations. Then you merely need withdraw your testimony to strengthen our position. 'Tis be a boon if we were also able to provide some manner of physical evidence. A seal of House Desmond has explained how the ruffians who snatched Pernod were able to enter the city without challenge. Aye, this shall do nicely. I'm truly sorry, my lord. All it took was one little beating for me to repay your kindness with betrayal. I'll not darken your doorstep again. What nonsense, you hardly had a choice in the matter. Continue your training at the manufactory, however, and you'll become more than a match for thugs such as these. Even without a noble's wealth or prestige, a common man can earn himself independence. You'll see that a machinist's firearm is more than a challenge for just shooting dragons. It can help set you free. Ship's vision will change this guard for the better. Come with us, Werner. Become the spear and the sword that our city needs. I'd like that. I'd like to feel like I'm worth something. We all make mistakes, my dear fellow. The trick is to learn from them and rise stronger from every defeat. Come, let us return to the manufactory. The tables have turned, my friend. I have submitted the evidence you found to the Temple Knight. With the aid of his new testimony, we had enough proof to lodge a counter-accusation against him. The wheels of justice have begun to turn, and we shall soon be free of these baseless suspicions. In the meantime, I instruct you to remember your bleeding practice drills. Charming fella. Tactician. Reduces damage taken by self and nearby party members. Effect cannot be stacked with Bard's Troubadour or Dancer's Shield Song. Oh shoot! So if I'm with a Dancer or a Dancer or Bard, I have to be like, "Hey, who's doing what?" What you would do is when the timer runs out on it, like, yeah, when the 15 seconds is up. They would do theirs after. Until you would take turns with something. With a person. Oh, the drill. Oh, I'm so torn because the drill would do. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I'm actually gonna keep going. I'm sorry. You know what? How about this? Hang on.